Today I'm going to talk about Cody Rhodes' story. Facts, fiction, the truth, or a lie? Is it legitimate, or is that story a pure fraud? We're going to talk about that today. Let's get into it.
Get ready! We are yours, and we're doing it better than anybody else alive!
So it dates back to this speech that Cody Rhodes gave the WWE Universe. Let's take a look at it.
If there was a glimmer of doubt, a shred of trepidation, the moment I rose up in front of 70-something thousand fans, the moment I made the walk at a WrestleMania and defeated one of the best superstar wrestlers in any era, that being Seth Rollins, that doubt was eradicated.
Now, before we go any further, imagine that. Imagine it was the Seth Rollins loss that gave Cody the motivation to finish the story. Do you not think that Seth Rollins don't have that doubt in the foul of his mind? You don't think he remembers that this win that Cody got over him has given him the motivation to go after not his championship, but the world championship, the universal title? Well, let me keep going.
I'm an avid reader, and I stumbled across this quote.
Now, before we go any further, let me pop this up here for the people at YouTube. Fair use, YouTube. Fair use.
Said a man often finds his destiny on the path he takes to avoid it. So if you'll humor me, let's all take a look at the Tron, if you will.
Now, you don't see it here because I got it blurred out. He has a picture of his daddy holding the title at Madison Square Garden.
Right there is my father, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. It's so simple to say, that's my father, but in reality, yeah, he's a legend. Yeah. He's the son of a plumber. He's a common man. He's all those things to me.
Oh, Lord, here come the tears and the cries.
He was my hero.
And the crowd eating it up. The build-up of sympathy got people on Cody's side.
This photo, it was taken in 1977, Madison Square Garden. That very photo right there, he is holding the championship belt that eventually Hulk Hogan would get his hands on. The Undertaker would get his hands on. The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Oh, and Triple H, too. And many other greats. I'm going to tell you a quick story which made this all very simple to me. This photo, this very photo, was on the mantle in my parents' bedroom until my dad's last day.
Now, he said this photo was on the mantle of his parents until his last day. I don't know if I want to believe that or not, because I find Cody very incredible. I find him a man that lacked credibility as a wrestler. I mean, don't get me wrong, decent wrestler, but the guy has done some shady things throughout his career in wrestling. Talking about storyline speaking, I don't know about his personal life, but from his history as a wrestler, some shady things from New Japan, from Ring of Honor, even in the WWE the first go-round. Shady things. Even in AEW, he started to do things in his favor to make him look good, to make people get on his side, to, he began to assume some power to the point that Tony Khan said, nah, that's enough. And they begin to bump heads. The very thing that he accused The Rock of in that promo, what you call the LSD promo, the LDS promo, Big Dwayne Energy or Little Dick Syndrome promo, He did it in AEW at the Tony Khan organization, the other TKO. Now, what Cody is doing masterfully, and I give him his props, is he's telling a story that people can buy into. It's like selling. He sold the crowd into the story perfect. Even though it's a freaking lemon, he's selling the crowd a lemon, and I'm gonna prove this to this day, but let him keep going.
And as I got hip to the industry, I worked up a little courage, and I remember I asked him, and I worded it very poorly. I said, I didn't know that you were champion like Hulk Hogan.
Well, you asked the right question, because if you got it on the mantelpiece with him holding up that belt, of course you're going to ask the question properly. So, Cody, you don't have to feel bad about that, because he's the one putting the picture of him holding the belt as if he won. Now, we all fall short of the glory of God, and we all mess up. We all have a little bit of lying in us. We all have some conning and scheming, some gamemanship with us. We oftentimes want to try to get one over on somebody. We have that attribute inside. It's called a sin nature if you come from the Christian profession or Christian religion. It's called a sin nature. It's what you were born to do, sin. And some of those sins are Eddie Guerrero type of sins: lie, cheat, and steal. And if Dusty Rhodes got with Cody's mama based on that lie, that's not cool, Dusty. It's not cool. And don't get me wrong, I had the pleasure of meeting Dusty two times in Bradenton, Florida, while he was doing a car commercial at Tom Steiner's Auto. Cool guy. But we don't know people's personal lives. We have bought into these superhero images of these people that they can't do no wrong, and they do all the wrong. Look, I've done a lot of wrong, done a lot of dirt in my life. Some I'm proud of, some not so proud of. I'm like, I'm surprised I got away with that. But this is just what it is. Cody, you bought into that because he portrayed the image that he was a champion. And I get it. If he wants to be a champion, he has to visualize himself, see himself holding the belt, but you don't have to put up a picture to do that. You can see it in your mind of you actually winning that belt instead of putting up a picture to make your family think you won that belt. And Cody Rhodes believed Dusty won that belt. That's why he asked that question.
He looked at me with the same eyes that Liberty has, and he said, very stern and very patiently, he explained to me the champion's advantage. He said that he had won the match, but because it was by count out, he did not take home the championship belt.
Now, why people is booing that? He won the match, but he didn't take the belt home with him. They trying to make it seem like that the people stripped the title away from him like he won the title. There's a difference between winning the match and winning the title. If you're in a non-title match and you wrestle and you win, you didn't win the title. If you're in a wrestling match and you get disqualified, you didn't win the title. I don't care if the title is up for grab. You didn't win it. There's stipulations to the match, and if you don't follow the stipulation, it may cost you the belt even though you may win. Now, why is Cody crying and why is Dusty upset and crying? Because Dusty knew the stipulations on the match. I'm going to move from that, and we're going to take a look at this story. This is a picture of Dusty Rhodes and superstar Billy Graham, who quite frankly were friends. Go figure. I told you a story where me and my dad went to see Ric Flair wrestle Dusty Rhodes at the Bayfront Center. They halfway was killing each other. And we go to get some breakfast and at Shoney's Big Boy, and these people walk in eating pancakes, him and Dusty, like they didn't halfway try to kill each other. And Dusty received 11 WWF, that was the WWE in those days, the Worldwide Wrestling Federation title shots. I repeat, Dusty received 11 WWF title shots between August 1977 and January 1978 in a span of a little over 6 months. Under 6 months, tell you the truth. 4 of them was actual WWF shows, tapings at Madison Square Garden. You can find those. I got those. There's a DVD out where you can watch from WWE, but I got those matches. Those 7 of those matches of the 11 was wrestled in my hometown, Florida. I remember those legendary matches. I've seen quite a few of those. I really liked Superstar Billy Graham back then. I mean, he was, man, he had the 24-inch python. He was Hogan before he was Hogan. He was Scott Steiner before he was Scott Steiner. Heck, he was Ric Flair before Ric Flair was Ric Flair. All these guys got their flair, they got their flavor, all superstar Billy Graham. He's already in the Hall of Fame. You wouldn't think the guy don't talk nothing like that. It's just like I met Ivan Koloff in Virginia, and I'm thinking this guy was really Russian. He wouldn't. Nice, sweet guy with his nice wife living in North Carolina, going around preaching the gospel, nice guy, But yeah, 11 WWF title shots. 4 of them were tapings in New York, Madison Square Garden, with Vince McMahon Sr., with Vince McMahon Jr. as commentator, and the other 7 were in Florida. Now, because of these 2 men who could talk, they could talk you and promote you into buying into the match. And they will pack out Madison Square Garden. Now, Superstar Billy Graham, and Cody is right, Superstar Billy Graham won that belt from, I think, Bruno Sammartino or Pedro Morales, one of them. But I think it's Bruno Sammartino broke his first ring. But he lost it to Bob Backlund. And Bob Backlund lost it to, I believe, the Iron Sheik. And Iron Sheik lost his title to Hulk Hogan. And then, as you know, the history goes on. So Cody is right. That belt that Roman Reigns have right now is attached to the history of the WWF. The belt that Seth Rollins has is attached to the history of WCW. I repeat again, the belt that Reigns has is attached to the WWF belt. It went through multiple phases to the one that we got right now. Seth Rollins' belt is attached to WCW. So being that, Cody is going for the right belt. I thought it was the wrong belt, but Cody was going for the right belt. Now, this wasn't Dusty's first time at Madison Square Garden. I mean, he'd been going there for a while, but this was the first time that he and Graham met outside the state of Florida. Vince was so happy to see Dusty there. I mean, Dusty was doing all the shuffling and all that kind of stuff, doing his thing. Now, my point of this expose is Cody finished the story stuff is, to me, just pure BS. It's nonsense. It's foolishness. This hyperfixation of winning the belt his dad never got is just crazy because he was not stripped of the belt. He just forgot the rules. The WWE Championship had rules to it in that particular match. You only can win by pinfall or submission. I'll repeat again, pinfall or submission. You rarely, even to this day, win a belt from a countout or disqualification. That has to be in the contract that you fight that way and the belt can be won that way. I'm sorry. Dusty didn't negotiate that in his contract. Now, don't get me wrong. This is pure storytelling, and it's true storytelling. It's beautiful storytelling fashion, and if it was truthful, it's a good story, and it's designed to make you want to watch the match again. It is designed for you to build sympathy in Cody. It's designed for you to look up to Cody. Look, he's trying to avenge his father, like it's some old Bruce Lee Kung Fu movie or something. His father died, and he got to avenge his death. Oh, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you, WWE. And Vincent McMahon, well, it wasn't Vincent K. McMahon. It was Vincent Sr. that allowed these things to happen. But here's the deal. They all knew this. Dusty knew this. Billy Graham knew this. Vince Sr. knew this. I know Vince Jr. was on commentator and he was enjoying the match. And of course, he's gonna sell the match too, talking about, his hat, his gear. The crowd was loving it. I mean, these guys doing their thing. But Cody finishing the story. That's his story. Is he trying to finish his story, the story, or his dad's story? And let me tell you whose story it really is. This is Vince's story. This is Vince's story of fiction, not truth. Vince Jr., Vincent K. McMahon. Tony Khan said, I want to start doing the booking. And Cody started losing creative control over some parts of AEW when Cody was strict on the booking. First of all, Cody separated himself from the Bullet Club and joined the Elite. And then he began to separate himself from the Elite. It was him and the Elite that came to AEW to start AEW with Tony Khan. And they was pretty much running it. But Tony Khan said, look, I'm going to have to get in there and learn how to do this stuff my own. Why? Because I don't know how long you guys going to stay with me or not. And Cody started doing some booking, but he booked himself in the corner a lot. He booked himself in the corner where he can't go for the World Championship belt. He booked himself into winning the brand new TNT title because he couldn't get no belt. So he figured I have to create a belt. So I can be on top. This is all true, folks. He didn't even want to drop the belt to Brody Lee. They claim that he wanted to, but no, Tony said you're dropping the belt to Brody Lee. That's the best thing Cody could do. He wanted to come back and take Brody Lee out and get the belt back. Unfortunately, Brody Lee passed away. I mean, Cody had some funny stuff going with him. And he totally distanced himself from the Elite that he would barely show up on the Elite television program. He began to be a little bit uppity, a little bit arrogant. Now, again, this is Vince's story. Now, you go watch these DVDs and you see this match from Dusty Rhodes, but I'm gonna go over this match so you can see it. Now, let's face it. This is some questionable stuff here, folks. Let's be honest. If Dusty Rhodes wanted to win the WWF title so bad, he would have committed himself to the New York territories and became a champion. Or, because at that time, Vince Sr. and Crockett Promotion were doing some things together. Back in the territorial days, you work with other promotion. You'll bring your champion here, champion there, just to help build each other's territory up. It's Vince and K. McMahon that came in and say, dang, the territories, I'm swallowing all up. I'm taking over. I'm not working with nobody. It's still his mentality up to the point where he got caught up in some mess and now he can't get out of it. But that's besides the point. So let's go take a look at this match. Let's go back and listen to what Cody said. Let him finish telling his side of the
story, which made this all very simple to me. This very photo, was on the mantle in my parents' bedroom until my dad's last day.
So it's not there no more?
And as I got hip to the industry, I worked up a little courage, and I remember I asked him, and I worded it very poorly. I said, I didn't know that you were champion like Hulk Hogan. And he looked at me with the same eyes that Liberty has, and he said, very stern and very patiently, he explained to me the champion's advantage. He said that he had won the match, but because it was by count out, he did not take home the championship belt.
Now, again, these people going to boo, but that's just the way it is. Why you booing that? It's always been like that in wrestling forever. You get disqualified or you get count out. You don't take the belt unless you negotiate in the contract that no disqualification, no count outs. Dusty didn't do that. Vincent K didn't do that. Vince Sr. didn't do that. Billy Graham. This was a match to bring in money. Dusty knew the rules.
So I'm 8 years old. What's a boy to do?
Wow.
Right then and there, at 8 years old, I knew not what I wanted to do, what I needed to do. I was going to win this championship belt right here. I was going to place it. I was going to bestow it into the hands of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and I would tell him, nobody can take it away from you now.
Nobody took it away from him. Let's take a look at the match, and we'll come back to this in a second. Nobody took it away from Dusty. Nobody. Now, we're in the middle of the match, and right now, superstar Billy Graham is getting the best of Dusty.
Off the rope again. Up,
And Dusty... First of all, great match. A lot of back and forth. A lot of elbows dropping. Bam. Superstar Billy Graham doing his test of strength. Superstar Billy Graham used to train with Arnold Schwarzenegger, muscles up to the eyeballs, showing his test of strength and, just doing great moves. Old school, talk trash, slow down, get your breather match, a lot of chokeholds and stuff like that. Right here, Dusty knew the rules. He's going to do this. He's going to knock him out the ring. And instead of going outside to bring him back into the ring to pin him, he does this.
Graham now, off the rope again. Up, over.
Crowd going berserk. You threw the man overboard. You know you only can win by pinfall and submission. That is standard textbook wrestling rules. You go out and get the guy and you bring him back into the ring. But what does Dusty do? Stand there. And stand there. And stand there. and stand there. This is not.
Looks like he's going to make it. I don't know. The referee should be out there counting.
This is not a non-title match. Now, Vince is over here saying, Vince K is saying the referee should be out there counting. Now, this guy he could have bumped his head to anything. So just like any other wrestler, he's going to see if you're all right first. And that's what this referee do. He goes to see if he's all right. And then he starts the counting. And then he counts the guy out. Dusty, forgetting in his mind that this is a title match. Cody fans, he decides to count with the referee as if this was a qualifying match. Now, if this was a qualifying match, whoop-de-doo. Count out, you get to go for the belt. This is not a qualified match. This is a championship match for the WWF title, 1977, September 26th. What do Dusty do? He counts with the referee. Dude, you cannot win the title counting out somebody. And you sure ain't gonna win with you standing up there looking like a goof, counting down along with the referee. You gotta go out there and drag that guy back in the ring and pin him. So don't sit there, Cody, act like your daddy. Oh, he took this thing. They told this from my daddy. They took this from my daddy. I make a vow to get revenge on my father. Stop that, man. This is your dad's fault. And don't get me wrong, I love Dusty Rhodes. Cody is telling this story, this finished the story lie. It is a lie. It is a lie. Sure, he wants to go for the belt, but he's going to make it seem like somebody did something to him. No, your daddy lying to you. He probably put that picture up with that belt, had y'all thinking that he had the title, that he won the title, and he didn't. Why would you put up a picture that's a lie? If you're going to put it up, it is my goal to win this title. Not just to hold it like I did here, but to actually possess it and have it here. That's what you do. But no, Dusty, count out with the...
But perhaps Rhodes is victorious here. The referee should be counting.
And the crowd, I gotta say, because I go to wrestling match coming up here in Brooklyn. I can't afford them. Those tickets right now. Got bills. Rent is due, so I can't do it this year. Rock's gonna be here, man. I'm gonna miss that. But nevertheless, the crowd forget the rules too. I'm quite sure when they announced this match, this is a match for 60 minutes for one fall, and only can be won by pinfall or submission, because they normally announce the rules of the match before they start the match. And the only way to win is pinfall or submission. On the corner to the right, in purple, looking like an idiot. And on the left, so I go. Even the crowd got so excited about Dusty that they forgot the rule right along with Dusty. Well, I could smell this happening with Cody often. Now he in the WWE for another 3 or 4 years. Referee starts counting.
Referee should be in the ring counting. I don't know what he's doing out there. Rhodes wants the belt.
Now, he counted the guy out. What do Dusty do? He goes and grabs the belt, as if he forgot the freaking rules of the match, man. The rules is one fall. I don't think it was a 60-minute time limit. Let's say 30-minute time limit, one fall. And the only way to win is by pinfall and submission, not a freaking count out. He's grabbing the title like he won. All right, the ref ain't going to do nothing. He's going to raise your hand. He goes and grabbed the title. You don't think that wasn't for show? You don't think they planned this stuff, that he's going to make himself look like a fool and forget you can only win by pinfall submission? This was probably planned. Cody and Cody Crybabies and all you guys who bought into the story. No, this was planned. Usually when you win a match and you won the title, the referee go grab the belt and hand it to you. No, Dusty goes out and grab the belt and start running around fool like an idiot. I won, knowing doggone well he didn't win. He knew he didn't win. You can't tell me he didn't know. Dusty is a legend in wrestling. He's one of the smartest ringmasters, ringleaders. He's a booker. He creates match. He creates storytelling. He knew what the heck was going on. He knew what he was doing. He knew the count out wasn't going to get him the belt. And he knew he just grabbing that belt was just to manipulate these people out there and make them think that he actually won something. Running around with the belt in his hand, and he ain't win jack nothing. There's the picture. Cody. And look, Cody said that's champion's advantage. That's not champion advantage. That's just standard textbook wrestling rules, dude. Stop it. Stop it. Keep putting it right. Look at that. Running around with the belt in his hand. Like, again, the true test of that you won the match is you let the referee go get the belt and put it in your hand. The referee didn't put the belt in his hand. He went and snatched the hand from the ring area, ran around with the belt, and go put the belt around his own waist. His own waist. The referee didn't put it around his waist. He put it around his own waist. But the referee raised his hand up. Yes, he raised his hand up. He won the match. But you cannot win the title that way. You can win the match but not win the title. And in this case, in most cases in wrestling, unless you got in a contract and you have a special type of match, the normal match that you wrestle is usually one fall, 30 or 60-minute time limit. The only way you win is pinfall or submission, not disqualification, not a count out. Dusty made himself look like a fool, Cody Rhodes. Your daddy made a big mistake. We all make mistakes. Your daddy made a big embarrassing mistake at Madison Square Garden on that day, grabbing the title as if it was yours, if it was his. But then again, he didn't make the mistake. That was all a plan for all of the world to believe that he made the mistake. It was part of getting the crowd on his side because the crowd forgot the rules of the game. See, you got to be very, very eyeful when things like this, when matches like this happen. When the last time you seen somebody, unless they cheated, grabbed the belt, put it on them, ran around like they were the champion, only to find out they're going to take the belt away from them and tell them you won. But this is Dusty's fault, man. This is Dusty's fault. But let's finish. You won. Fair and square, you won. You had to take that belt off.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time 15 minutes, 38 seconds. Referee Eddie Gersh counts out Superstar Billy Graham, the winner, but not the new world champion, Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes wins it. There must be a pin count or a submission for the belt to change hands.
And there you go. And Dusty knew this. He knew it. He knew it. This is all part of helping the big draw. It's all part of putting somebody over, yet making yourself look good. It's all part of the process. Dusty knew. That's why I don't understand. If you say Dusty put that on his mantelpiece, Dusty would be truthful and say, no, it's a match. I put Superstar Billy Graham over, and this was part of me putting him over. We had a match. My job is to, was to get over real good, whoop his behind. He's going to fall over and he's going to get counted out, protecting him, protecting his title, but yet making me look good, making me look like I can win a world championship. The people there bought it. You bought it, son. You bought it. Now, Dusty acting like he's mad. Yeah, you should be mad at yourself, Dusty.
He had the championship belt around his waist. But
he put it around his waist. The referee didn't do it. So nobody screwed them. Nobody took it away from him. Nobody. It wasn't his in the first place. He assumed he won. At least that's what it looked like. Of course, we know this booking, and this is all to make the champion and him look good. But at the end of the day, they knew that this wasn't a real, that come on, son. And of course, you're going to talk some trash.
Superstar! I come a long way to whip your ass now. Get out of here, baby!
the crowd up. Crowd is hyped. But guess what? Superstar ain't coming out there. The match is over with. You ended the match. You kicked me over. I'm going to take the easy way out. If I can keep my belt by count out, I could keep my belt by count out. It's up to you to pin me or submit me. If I could disqualify myself and retain the title, great. If I can get count out, great. But see, in this situation, when it comes to the upcoming match between Cody and Roman, it might be bloodline rules. God knows what that is. I guess no pinfalls, no submission, no count out. What I don't know. But I can see this happening to Cody. Because if he can't see it, it's easy for him to get got like his daddy got that day. And nobody got his daddy. His daddy got himself. Cody gonna make another, if he do not tell the truth about this and admit his daddy fault and where his daddy missed it, he's gonna continue to lose the big one. Just like Dusty continued to lose the big one. 11 matches from August 1977 to January 1978. They fought 11 matches and he still didn't win. But some of y'all people out here are crying because Roman Reigns had one match at WrestleMania and defeated. Even though it was some shenanigans at the end of the day, he got out of the shenanigans. Whatever Solo did to him, he got out of it. At the end of the day, Roman pinned him. 1, 2, 3. That's the rule. Pinfall or submission. Y'all get mad because he got defeated one time. And y'all talking about rioting. What you ain't gonna do a doggone thing.
You ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do it.
You ain't doing that if you don't win. Let me let Cody finish what he's saying, because this is important in our close.
Stow it into the hands of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and I would tell him nobody can take it away from you now.
Let's go back.
Into the hands of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and I would tell him nobody can take it away from you now.
He took that away from himself.
And there are many here tonight who have followed my journey, but for those who are new to it, unfortunately, that dream died. It died right in front of me. That opportunity passed. That opportunity passed, or did it? Yes.
And the opportunity passed you one time, and it may pass you again, because you're not seeing clearly, Cody. You're not seeing clearly.
I cannot physically put that title belt into my father's hands. I cannot bestow it upon the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, but I certainly can put it around the waist of the American Nightmare.
Now let us go back. Now, in real life, these guys are friends. They travel up and down the road together. They had a lot of matches together, and great matches. I encourage you to go and look at those matches. Look at those matches. It's legendary, good stuff, good wrestling matches. At the end of the day, this story of Cody Rhodes is not truthful. The way he told the story to make you think that his daddy pretty much had the title and the WWE stripped it from him. He never had the title. He knew the rules. He knew you can't win unless it's by pinfall or submission. He kicked him out the ring, and he let the man stay out the ring. He sat there and counted with the referee. It's dumb. You let the man stay out in the ring when you should have been grabbing him, putting him in the ring. You say, well, hey, I just take the coward way and win by count out, like if it's a qualifying match or something, instead of going and getting the man. And what was more stupid is you sat there and counted with the referee, and once you get to 10, you jumped him down like you won the championship, and you knew the rules. You knew you didn't win. Yet you're still going to grab the title and run around with it like you won, hyping the crowd up. And then you're going to put it around your waist yourself. The referee didn't grab it and hand it to you. The referee didn't put it around your hand, but the referee did around your waist. But the referee did do his job by putting your hand up because you were victorious, because you kicked the man went out the ring and stayed there. And if I was a heel or if I was a face and I really, really want to keep my title, I'm not going to sit here and say, look, we're going to fight. And no, I'm going to find the easiest way to keep my title and get my paycheck. I ain't got to be no heel or evil man for that. It's about what's best for my mind and my body. You throw me out the ring, I'm going to act like I'm hurt. If I know I can retain my title and get a good paycheck for the night and you get a good payday, I'm staying outside the ring until the count is over with because the title and exchange hands on count out. It's up to you to pick me up and put me back in, and you did not do it. You were the fool to stand there and count along with the ref and allowed me to win. Yes, that's right. Dusty Rhodes allowed Superstar Billy Graham to win and retain that match, retain that title in September 1976. 77 live at Madison Square Garden. So to base your mission of taking the title off Roman Reigns and fulfilling your dad's dream, which he won't be able to see, it don't lack integrity to me. The story and how you talk about it lacks integrity. Daddy having a picture, that right there lacks Dusty integrity. To have y'all thinking he won the title until you finally have to sit down and tell him, why would you put something up there to make somebody think one way, so you have to sit there and explain to them it's not that way. Your kids would have been proud of you whether you had a title or not. And if you're going to put it up there, just put something under and say, I didn't win you that night. I didn't win this title that night, but one night I will. Instead of having them thinking that you were a world champion. At least Dusty told the truth and say, hey, I didn't win. My problem is, did you tell your son that they took it away from you when you know they didn't take it away from you? Well, this is Bob TV with Wrestle Bob Podcast. Quick expose on this lie called the Cody Rhodes story. It lacks integrity. It lacks a solid foundation of truth. And when you're a man who fabricates, and when you're a man who don't tell the true story, only the story you want us to hear so we can buy into you, so again, like you did in AEW, so you can have things go your way, then I can't rock with you on that. That's why I'm not a Cody Rhodes fan. Now, I can see if you're an American Nightmare and you were really being what you're supposed to be, a nightmare wrestler or a heelish wrestler. Of course, I can understand you lying, cheating, and stealing because you're supposed to be a heel. But for you to build a story integrity and get kids and everybody buy into the story, Cody must finish his story. You mean finish the lie that he told you? It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie made up by Vincent K. McMahon, given to Cody, because if Vincent K. McMahon was in charge, eventually Cody would get the belt. And honestly speaking, I don't think Cody should get the belt again. Cody need to lose one more time. In my honest opinion, he luckily won the Royal Rumble. I believe Punk was supposed to win it. I really do. And Punk hurt himself, and he didn't want to jeopardize the Mania picture. So he allowed Cody to throw him out the ring. Cody did earn his way to 2 Royal Rumbles, but Cody, since he got in there, haven't had no real significant conquering victories. You should have gave him the United States Championship. You should have gave him the Intercontinental Championship again. I don't even think he faced Gunther. Anybody that should be poised in a position to defeat the Roman Reigns streak, to stop the day Reigns and win the title, it should be Gunther. And I can think of no better place than Germany. If Cody truly going to finish this story, it has to be at MSG, because it didn't start at WrestleMania. It started at MSG. I'm Robert Wrestle Bob with expose on the story of Cody Rhodes. I hope you see where I'm coming from. Cody is a man who lacks telling the entire truth. And I once met a beautiful woman that I really, really started to love. And I didn't tell her the truth about my situation, my living situation. At the time, me and my girlfriend split up. We split up, but I was still staying there until I got my own place. I met her. And we were just friends. And we went to an event, and she wanted to come pick me up. Now, you know I was about to have that. So I was like, yo, just meet me over here. But when I told her the truth, it ended our relationship. And I miss my friend. We can't even be friends to this day. I probably see her once in a gigantic blue moon. But she was a beautiful, sweet woman, and I messed that up because I was too afraid to tell her the entire truth. Now, I learned my lesson since then, but that's what happened when you're not 100% truthful. When the truth come out, people ain't gonna want to have nothing to do with you. And I got a feeling the truth is gonna come out about Cody Rhodes in the story. And once he do finish the story and the real truth come out, it's gonna happen the same way it happened in AEW. The fans are gonna grow tired of Cody, and they're gonna boo him, pushing him to become the American Nightmare. He's gonna fight it. He's gonna buck it, but he can't just leave like he did AEW because he couldn't get his way. He just signed multiple deals. He's going to be in WWE for a while. And when the crowd start booing you for your honesty, for your lack of honesty, when the crowd start booing you for your lack of honesty, then where you going to be, Cody Rhodes?